Okay, thank you for joining us today for the 28th meeting of the Lake County Board of Commissioners. Would all those who are willing and able please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use it in our directives for the common good and for thy honor and glory. Amen. Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Serino?
Here.
Commissioner Young?
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Here. Okay. Let's see. Jason, do we have any public comments that you'd like to enter into the record?
Double checking here. Yeah, one. Good morning, Commissioners. This public comment is entered into the record by Patricia Denny, The three most basic needs of all human beings, which most of us learned about in grade school, were food, shelter, and clothing. Most of us would agree that in the U.S., clothing is not as large of a need as those of us in need of food and shelter. Food is more affordable for most people, even though it is scandalous that there is still so much need. But the enormous lack of affordable and adequate shelter is a much larger scandal. Exclusionary zoning in many Lake County cities and townships accounts for much of the lack of affordable and adequate shelter here. Housing security is a moral imperative if we're to call ourselves humane. How can we, in good conscience, eliminate a mediation program which is so needed by the most vulnerable people in this county? At the very least, I urge you to continue funding for the Fair Housing Resource Center's program, which includes a hotline. Better yet, increase the funding for something that has such wide-ranging negative implications for the very precarious positions in which so many of our neighbors find themselves in. End of comment.
Thank you, sir. Are there any others? Thank you. Anyone in the audience wish to address? Okay. If I have no objection from my colleagues, I would like to move a couple of agenda items up out of respect to our youth in the audience. We have a couple of resolutions. I believe numbers 9 and 10. Without objection, gentlemen?
No objection.
Madam Clerk, would you
No objection.
care to move up items 9 and 10, please?
Okay, very good. So number 9 is a resolution congratulating Justin Miller, named Outstanding Youth of the Year 2020 by the Ohio State University Extension of Lake County.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion. Oh, come on, we got to have a little bit of discussion on this.
Well, we're going to hear from the young man.
I think we should, and perhaps maybe we should have Madam Clerk, since she's in such good voice today, read the whole thing.
The whole thing?
Read the
I was prepared today.
Oh,
I brought it with me.
There we go.
The whole thing.
pertinent parts.
All right, well, let's start. Okay. Whereas Justin Miller is one among a select few of candidates to receive the prestigious Outstanding Youth of the Year Award for 2020 as presented by the Ohio State University Extension, in recognition of individual 4-H club members for his exceptional leadership and community participation. And I will read the next one, which I think has his history in that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Whereas Justin has been active in 4-H for 8 years and has been a member of various clubs. He has been a part of Young Guns Club, Dog Club, and Wings and Things Club. Justin also joined Junior Fair Board, Junior Market, and the Lake County Exchange Flyers, and has been a Camp Whitehead counselor since 2014. He became a Junior Fair Board president in 2020 and vice president of the Wings and Things in 2019 to present. Justin was one of the Hoedown Planning Committee and DJ'd the event for 3 consecutive years. He also attended the Ohio Beef Expos and participated in the exchange program with Minnesota 4-H Youth. He has won numerous honors and awards, including the Grand Champion Heifer at the Fair Board, Best Hen at the Fair, and second in market for his steer in 2019. In 2020, he won the honor of Grand Champion for his beef carcass.
Very good.
Right.
Further discussion? Yeah, I think you hit some high points there.
We'll hear from Justin after we vote.
I think so, and I can look into the future, and hopefully when we do 9 and 10, we might be able to do some presentations if our youth are in that mind. So with that, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Next.
Resolution congratulating Anya Dempshaw, named Outstanding Youth of the Year 2020 by the Ohio State University Extension of Lake County.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Very good. And under discussion, Madam Clerk, would you
Yes.
please give us the important parts there?
Absolutely. Whereas Anya Dempshaw is among a select few of candidates to receive the prestigious Outstanding Youth of the Year Award for 2020, as presented by the Ohio State University Extension in recognition of individual 4-H members of her exceptional leadership and community participation. And whereas Anya has been active in 4-H for 7 years, is a member of and held various leadership positions, including Vice President of the Lake County Flyers Travel Exchange Club, Recreation Leader of Giddy Up Whoa, and Treasurer of Junior Market Livestock. She has won numerous honors and awards, including the Ohio Youth Challenge, participating as both a delegate and this year as a mentor. Anya's Ohio Youth Challenge team is the current 2020 state champion and are currently working toward making their proposed volunteer verification database a reality. She also participated in the Ohio Farm Bureau's Exploring Agriculture Camp. This camp helped Anya realize that her generation will be challenged with the need to increase the production of food on less land while keeping the process sustainable and affordable. For the past 3 years, Anya has been a 4-H camp counselor at Camp Whitehead, and in 2019 held a showmanship and animal care clinic for the younger 4-H members, which involved visiting their barns and working with their animals. She strives to make sure every younger 4-H member has wonderful memories of their experiences.
Magnificent. Further discussion?
No further discussion?
All right then, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes. Very good. So would you young folk mind being presented, assuming we all suit up accordingly here, as they say?
Oh. What? Oh, you look like you're going to say something. Go ahead. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Come on, say it, John.
What would I tell you? What would you say if I told you I'm not smiling? Congratulations. We'd like you to say a few words, so come on up to the mic. Let's make it official. Seats here. And of course, ladies first.
Nice.
What did you say, Anya? I
said I could go first.
Oh, she's good.
What should I speak on here? So much.
Okay, Justin, just tell us a little bit about yourself and sort of, a little bit about your project. Okay.
My name is Justin Miller. This is my 8th year in 4-H. I'm a first generational 4-Her. My mother grew up in Eastlake, not really knowing much about 4-H. So me walking into 4-H was kind of just hitting a wall, not knowing what to do.
Not too many cows in East Lake roaming around.
No, not really. So I started off with chickens, which was a lot nicer than starting off with a cow. And then I worked my way up this year from starting with 2 chickens in 2014 to 2 cows and a pog in my last year this year. So I slowly progressed year after year to build up to one final year, and then COVID hit, so it was a little bit of a different experience, but it was still a good experience in 4-H. And then Camp Whitewood was probably my favorite 4-H event that we would have had this year. I've been doing that for 6 years, and 4-H I think is the best development program that 4-H has, because you have just such a wide array of ages and people, and you don't need to have animals to be at Camp Whitewood, but you get the 4-H experience.
Excellent. Great. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Now, you're not going to get away that easy. Come on now. now. You mentioned your mother now. Now, was she a pretty quick study? Did she learn a few things about 4-H? This is the part where we have a little fun and fellowship here, so.
Yeah, she started off a little skittish.
Okay, but you worked with her, brought her up to speed?
Yes. Could you elaborate, please?
I don't want to embarrass her too much today.
Feel free.
Now, parents are always defined by their children, so. Oh, there we go. Looks bad. See what happens? Now, remember, when a young lady says, no, you can go first, your response is, no, quite all right, you go first. So, and your mother's role with 4-H would be?
The 4-H educator.
Oh, okay, there you go. See, so for those who may not know, we're having some fun here.
Yeah.
Yes, Lisa's an integral part of the success for the 4-H youth program, so he's had a great parent and a great leader there to work with, so
Thank
there
you.
you go. Now she's nodding like, okay, now this is probably hurry up and sit down and take the compliment. No, thank you for being such a good sport.
Thank you.
Young lady, you're gonna need to pull that microphone down a little bit because the whole world's gonna want to hear you.
So
You've got a viewing audience of the entire World Wide Web.
what should I say? Just introduce myself?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Anya Dempshaw. This is my 7th year in 4-H. I'm going to my senior year at Riverside High School. Done many things this year. For example, Ohio Youth Capital Challenge and Ohio Leadership Camp. I've done many 4-H projects, from rabbits to showing cattle. So.
Nice. So what are your thoughts as far as the outlook at the fair this year? What are your thoughts there?
It's different, but it's a good experience, and I'm glad we made the most of it.
Now there's that theme, making the most of things.
And you have your parents here with you. Would you like to introduce them?
Yeah, so this is my mom. Her name's Regan Dempshaw, and then my dad is Todd Dempshaw.
Great. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're also both in 4-H, and they're advisors.
Okay.
There
So
you go.
Put them to work, huh?
There's that theme.
Okay.
And very sincerely, we are defined by our children in many cases, so your parents are well served. God bless you for all that you're doing. Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Ron.
Why is the fair so important to 4-H?
Okay, so from the livestock view of things, the fair is where you can show off your final project and all the work you've put into it. But also, wait, what was your question again?
Why is the fair so important to you?
It also, you get to make a lot of new memories and meet new people every year, which is really cool.
Great. Ron, could you hear the response?
I heard it, but isn't it also a place where the young folks bring their wares, and we have a sale and people purchase, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so our Lake County Livestock Auction is where we get to sell our market products that we raised the whole year. And this year's going to be an online auction, so that's going to be a different experience, but hopefully it goes well.
Hopefully we'll be back to normal next year.
Yeah.
So how can folks get involved in the online auction?
So it's on the 2nd this weekend, so the 1st.
This coming weekend?
Oh, it's the 1st, Saturday the 1st, and they can log in through, is it Breeders' World? Yeah, through Breeders' World, and then log in, and they can bid on animals.
We know Commissioner Young is interested in some chickens. So,
Yeah.
Ron, we'll make sure.
So I was just going to say, so anybody out there that is interested in supporting probably, in many ways, the best young people we have in Lake County, and getting some great chicken, should tune into this auction and take advantage of it, because it's the best food provided by the best people, and the fair is not going to be well populated this year, obviously. So this is their one chance to get their stuff on the market. And if you'd like to participate, that would be fantastic.
And while we're on the subject, Lisa, did you want to give some specific details? Our last meeting, we talked about the unique format. Did you want to go into
Want to talk about
that?
the breeder's room? Is that what you want me, the auction?
Yeah, because that's kind of unique, and thank you. I didn't want to put you on the spot for that one, so I'll bump it up the chain of
So if you
command.
go to the Breeders' World website, you will see, you have to look for our county, and you'll see Lake County. It is designated by species, so, it'll have all the chickens, like all the poultry, all the swine, all the beef, and then each youth is in alphabetical order. At the head of each species, you'll see who was the grand champion, and in the reserve, so you can see all that. There'll be a little bit of information about the youth, like a little biography about the youth. And it will start you can sign on at 2. The auction goes until 7 p.m. But we have what they call like a racehorse finish. I think I kind of described this last week when I was here. So if, Commissioner Serino and Commissioner Hammercheck are, neck and neck for Justin's, carcass, at 7:01, and you guys are bidding back and forth, and the other 199 kids, nobody's bidding on, but you guys can keep it going to midnight. And let's say, Randy over here decides he wants to jump in and see his person at 9, and you guys are still bidding, he can go ahead and bid on his person and keep the race going. So it continues to go until, I think it's a minute. There's been no bidding on any. Is it 5 minutes? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So it'll be kind of exciting. And you can do it from the comfort of your own home. And the other thing about it is that you can have your meat, for the entire year. It's, the kids use, feed that is, there's no chemicals, there's no hormones. If you've ever had any 4-H bred projects, and we've had pork, we've had chickens, turkeys, tastes phenomenal. It's better than anything store-bought. And it's a pretty, I would say, competitive pricing. So you're helping out the youth, you're stocking up on your meat, and you're able to do it in the comfort of your own home. I mean, can you think of anything better than that?
Well, the only thing I could think of that'd be
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
the only thing I could think of would be better than that, to be able to read it in the newspaper. So people who the media's here. But that reason I bring that up is it is such a unique model that you're following. So it's very difficult times, and the competitive nature of the in-person bidding, it's not there. But again, you've introduced a unique opportunity to kind of get that excitement going.
Right, and the other thing I want to say is that the course of these 3 days, we've had, we've been doing our junior fair, and we've had our judges come in from across the state. Every one of the judges have commented, well, Lake County's small compared to maybe some of the other counties, that all of the product that he has seen, all the animals that he's seen, he would feel comfortable with anybody, eating them. He says, that we do a very nice job. It's very clear that our advisors work hard with our youth, and our youth put a lot of time and energy into their projects. So he had a lot of good things to say, and it's been a good experience considering it isn't the Super Bowl affairs like we normally have, but they've been able to at least display their projects and display the hard work. So we're very thankful for that. So
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for that educational component.
you are welcome.
You're all welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or if you want to beat feet, now would be the time to skedaddle if you're so inclined.
Certainly don't feel obliged to stay.
We have to head back to the fairgrounds.
Okay, go for it.
gotcha.
All right.
Get out of
Thanks for
our-
thanks for coming.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Most welcome. Okay, Madam Clerk, returning back to our normally scheduled agenda items. Item number 1.
Okay. In the Utilities Department, resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Operating Fund and Project Fund 595 Aquarius Raw Water Generator Improvements Project 398W.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second.
And discussion. Randy, did you want to give us a little bit of background on that?
Sure. This is a part of our capital improvement plan for construction, hopefully this summer. It's a raw water generator at our raw water station up on Lakeshore Boulevard for Aquarius Water Treatment Plant.
And just by way of background, there was about $120,000 savings on this bid from the engineer's estimate, something like that? It was
Yeah, a little bit more than that. It was about $200,000 less than the engineer's estimate, about 120 below the second bidder.
Gotcha. And you're confident everything's spot on, looks good?
We're ready to go.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you. Further discussion?
None.
None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of an engineering agreement with Arcadis U.S. Inc. for the Gary L. Crone Water Reclamation Facility VFD Replacement Project 440S for the Lake County Department of Utilities.
Move to adopt.
Discussion?
Sure, this is part of our next year's construction. This is going to begin the design for VFD replacement at our wastewater treatment plant in Mentor.
Very good. Further discussion?
Nope.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution certifying unpaid sewer and water sums and administrative charges for the Lake County Auditor.
Move
Move
to
to adopt.
second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
In Job and Family Services, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant August 7th, 2020, in the amount of $46,125.42.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $1,470,318.92.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $968,515.97.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to adopt.
Second. Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cerino?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes. Very good. Okay, this brings us to our departmental reports portion of our meeting. Randy, utilities.
Nothing further, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. And moving to County Administrator Jason.
Just briefly, Finance Director Matus is in a meeting today regarding some budget issues he's working through, but wanted me to let the board and public know that the 2021 budget requests have been distributed to all the elected officials and department heads. Including in those budget requests is a 5-year forecast. Clearly 2021, as we all know, is going to be a challenging year, and Mr. Matus has kind of spelled that out in his memo. So on behalf of Mike, I wanted to let you guys know that the request for 21 went out with some fairly obvious expectations of the budget probably going to be lower than 2020 revenues were expected. Secondly, going to continue, sent correspondence to the board throughout the month of August, our flex staffing to stay in compliance with some of the social distancing and so on. I'll send correspondence out to all the elected officials and department heads by close of business today, and keep doing the great things that we're doing while serving the businesses in public.
Very good. Sir.
Jason, just a question, sort of just to get your opinion. Given the circumstances that we're in right now with the 2020 budget and the 2021 expectations, would it be to our advantage at all to kind of break from historical practice and have budget hearings in the fourth quarter here instead of waiting till the first quarter of next year?
Yes, Michael and I spoke about that yesterday. But we think that that's probably something we should consider moving forward. So, yeah.
Okay, we can talk about it
Yep,
later.
but yeah, that's been a discussion point with Mike. But yeah, as you know, traditionally we've done it, close the books, open the books type of thing, but we're in a new normal here.
Yeah, okay.
And we did set that precedent last cycle where we were ahead of the curve, so I think
Correctly.
we should expand on that.
Yep.
So.
Thanks.
Good, thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk.
I think I've said enough today.
No. You'd have to do the whole meeting. Inside joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Next week, August 6th, 10 a.m. I'm good.
There you go. See, there comes a heading, if you miss one meeting, you missed a lot, so thank you, ma'am. And legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. And old business. Do we have any old business to come before this board? I got a brief update. LEEDCO, Lake Erie Energy Development Corporation, LEEDCO, the wind turbine project, is continuing to appeal the Ohio Power siting requirement that the wind turbines, if constructed, would only be permitted to operate during daylight hours. In light of all the turmoil in the state over energy, we're still trying to understand why the Power Siting Board would want wind turbines to only operate by daylight hours. But we're still working through the legal process on that. But that's the update on that as it stands. Is there any other old business?
No.
Very good. Moving on to new business. Do we have any new business to come before the board?
No.
Commissioner Young, anything?
Well, I think I should mention something. Things are happening in Lake County. I know we have an economic slowdown. I know people are concerned, but there's real activity going on out there. Just a quick example, at Grand River Valley Branding Initiative that we helped initiate about a year ago, joining together the wineries of Lake and Ashtabula County in a kind of a consortium to promote the whole Grand River Valley is moving forward. They have a new project, a new priority, and they have some money. So they're probably going to move ahead with this fairly quickly, which means it may be finished next year. But they're putting archways over 528 and 534, that's the plan, welcoming people to the Grand River Valley region. So it'd be the premier wine growing region of Ohio, which is a true statement. So the region doesn't stop with the Lake Ashtabula line. The region extends beyond both. So and wineries are becoming a major element in Lake County's economic planning and even our current economic condition. With 3 new hotels set up in the wine region, at least partly based upon the performance of those wineries. Things are expected to grow even more over the next few years. So I'm excited about that. Excited for the economy of Lake County, and tourism, et cetera, et cetera. And it just shows that Lake County is still moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, this moves us to our second public portion of the meeting. Jason, any electronic correspondence? None, sir. Thank you. And nobody in our audience. Gary, do you want to join? All righty. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of our meeting. We do have a request for an executive session. The topics to be discussed are personnel employment, the other being real estate purchase, sale, or other disposition of real property. There will be no business to be conducted after the meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn into executive session for the reasons stated?
Move to adjourn?
Discussion. Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yeah.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes. Thank you for joining us today.